continue in chapter 46. We began yesterday with a metaphor, and we're actually going to continue with the metaphor today, a very short class describing a very powerful metaphor. We're not even going to get into the meaning of the metaphor yet.
What?
We're not going to get into the meaning.
Oops.
What we're going to do is just understand a beautiful idea, or the metaphor again. It says that when you put your face to the water and you look at the water, you get a reflection. What you present is what is reflected back to you, is mirrored back to you. So what's in your heart will be mirrored on your face, that will be reflected, and what you show will be reflected back, right? So in this metaphor, simply stated, that when you show a smile to somebody, you're going to get a smile back, quite probably, especially if the person's close to you. If you're going to show some kind of anger, well, we're not going with the negative. It's only with the positive that we're bringing out in the metaphor over here. So the Alter Rebbe now takes this metaphor further and says the following. If it's just with a friend that shows you a nice countenance, a nice smile, you walk into synagogue in the morning and you say, "Oh, good morning. How you doing?" What does that bring out in the other person? Connection. And they give back something that is warm and nice, beautiful. How much more so would it be, though, if a great and mighty king who rules over many lands, remember this is a metaphor, okay, and displays his great and intense love for a commoner, and this commoner is actually a despised and lowly among people, because that commoner is living on a dunghill. Not disgrace this person. Again, hey, that's not very nice. That's not the point here. The point is to bring out an idea. So this person lives on a dunghill, and the king, he comes down to him from his place of glory, right? From the palace, on the throne. And he's coming down from there. And who's he coming with? All of his retinue. He's coming with the ministers. He's coming with the soldiers. He's coming with everybody with him. And what does he do? He comes to this commoner who's living on a dunghill, and he raises and exalts him from the dunghill. Not only does he take him off the dunghill and, takes him out of the dunghill, he brings him into the palace. And in the palace, there are a lot of chambers. He could leave him as, okay, you know what? We're going to allow you to be a servant here. No, doesn't bring him to be a servant in the palace. He actually brings him into the innermost chamber, a place where the servants don't go. Not even the ministers or the great lords. They don't even go there. Unless they're invited, but they're not allowed to go there. But that's where he brings his commoner. And he shares with them closest companionship with mutual embraces. An attachment of spirit to spirit, of heart and soul, of a very infinite, deep manner. Wow. What would be the response of this commoner? Even if you had a heart of stone. In other words, you're not really such a feeling person. After all, you've been living on the dunghill for a while. You probably lost your sensitivity. Right? Again, remember, this is a metaphor. You got a heart of stone. What would happen when this happened to you? Surely it would melt. It would become like water, and the soul would pour out itself out of water with a soulful longing for a great love towards the king, for what the king has done for you. That's the metaphor. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, we're going to have to wait and see for the next class what that means. But just think for a moment. I pondered the thought. Why would the Alter Rebbe, it's actually the previous Rebbe who set up the learning on a daily basis, previous Rebbe, and this is it. This is the learning. Like, hey, you teach a metaphor without what its significance is, what its meaning is, and how to apply it in a personal way. What's going on over here? Yeah, there's something just in a metaphor to live with now until we learn the next class. To live with the metaphor that, imagine in our lives, think about it. Did you ever have happened to you, right? Someone who's amazing individual who just brought you out of your dunghill, out of your negativity, out of your place that is who knows what kind of, swarming things that were going on in that dunghill of ours or mine. For me, this is like clear as daylight, right? Clear as daylight what this means for me on a personal level, which I will share in the Tanya Rabbi community, because that's where these things come to a whole new level of sharing and experiencing. Just a reminder that we're starting this coming week, next week rather. And if you didn't get a chance to sign up, please do, because that's where the not just the inspiration, but the real growth will really take place. Of what does it mean? How do we look at ourselves? The metaphor could be like it's like you think about it like it's not very PC. Talk about someone who But you know what? Think about our lives, where we came from, and where we are today. Was there a king that helped you? In the metaphor, king, right?
Rabbi, fine. Do you know the proverb, wie es klingt in Wald rein, klingt es wieder ajois?
Say it in English.
How it sounds in the wood, in the forest, so echoes it's outside. Wie es klingt in the Wald, klingt es wieder hinaus.
Like the way it rings in the forest, it rings in the house. That, yeah?
Yes, this comes back.
Right. Yeah. In other words, sometimes it's way out there, but it also is way inside. Exactly. So anyways, so why am I saying this? Because it's something to ponder for ourselves. Where we're going with this and what the metaphor means in the teachings of Tanya, we will, of course, continue with it. But the fact that we just have the metaphor for itself, right? So means there's something for me to understand for me. And we will understand it in great depth, because the Alter Rebbe is going to take this in a few chapters to unpack this metaphor because it's a very powerful one and life-altering, actually. And we will continue this, God willing. Okay. I can entertain a question or two. By the way, we've started our myeshiva.ca if you want to see our schedule. Myeshiva.ca. I can actually put it up. Someone, you don't mind putting it up. I also put up TanyaRabbi.com. I don't know if that actually, I don't know if that works. In any case, and put it up. If you don't mind, put it up, David. So we started learning in the mornings. We did Chumash and Rashi. We did at 8:40 till we came to Tanya. And then we did the Tanya. But yes, and we're going to continue with more learning. All that is on myeshiva.ca. But that's learning. Learning is important. We got to do a lot of Torah learning. But then there is application of the learning. How do we bring it into our day-to-day experience? How do we bring it into our day-to-day living with others? That's what the Tanya Rabbi community. That's the community that we are developing. If someone has any questions on it, wants to reach out to me, please do. You can reach out personally if you have any questions, any things that you need to have clarity. If you're not certain about joining or not, we have many people have joined, and I just want to encourage and inspire others, because that's where, again, there's one thing to learn, there's another thing to apply and to seek in a guided mentorship from myself, but through a community of people who, looking for the same, personal growth and advancement. That's very special and unique. All right, folks, we're going to continue our conversation. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Kadeshi in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege, a pleasure, truly, to share with you, Tanya.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi. Wonderful.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yes.
Tanya.
Listen, faith Shabbos.
Shabbos, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
What's going on here? I can't even open this. Yeah. All right. Thank you, folks. God bless you all.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions,